VHS, which is a portmanteau horror movie, therefore through various directors. Portmanteau, obviously meaning sections within sections. I mean, portmanteau horror films are very, very popular within horror genre, like sort of portmanteaus. Lots of different stories, all told within, with an encompassing narrative. A portmanteau, incidentally, apparently is
Love Actually. Would that be a portmanteau film?
That's more film. No, that's more intertwining narratives. That's not portmanteau.
What's the difference between an intertwining narrative and a portmanteau?
I don't know, and I'm going to waste valuable time here. But a portmanteau. Do you know what a portmanteau is?
Well, you just told me.
It's a thing that no, in real life, not in terms of films.
Yes,
it's a thing that opens up and it's got drawers in it, individual drawers in it. So, the overarching narrative here is there is an obnoxious group of blokes who go around videoing themselves behaving hideously and obnoxiously. They are sent off to go to a house to steal a videotape. When they get to the house, there's loads of videotapes and also apparently a dead guy. They start going through the videotapes to find the one they want, and each one that they put in has got a story in it, which is all part of the portmanteau. Here's the thing with this. It's always the case with portmanteaus, particularly with horror portmanteaus, that, some bits are better than others. My main problem was, and I know some people have really liked VHS and some people have taken to it. I didn't like it, and I didn't like it for a number of reasons. One of them was that at the beginning, the characters who are the part of the overarching narrative was so obnoxious that it is necessary to have some engagement with or sympathy with characters in order for narratives, particularly horror narratives, actually to work. And I found that that their wraparound and the first story that we get, which is so much about obnoxious laddie blokes, that I really started to lose sympathy. Secondly, there is way too much unnecessary laddie, leery displays of women in ways which the movie sort of purports to be criticising, but it's way too much of it, and smarter filmmakers would have done without it. The other thing is, I am just so inured now to found footage. I always go back to this, but you remember with the Blair Witch Project, the idea of people filming each other and what you're seeing is the film left afterwards. And there was an idea in there and it was completely gripping. And despite the fact that the characters were incredibly annoying, they did really interesting things with this. Ty West is one of the directors here, House of the Devil before. It's one thing about having sort of retro nostalgia for VHSs and for videotapes, particularly with video, because of the whole Video Nasties debacle that played out here in the 1980s. But I am just now, as soon as I get to it, I'm going to have 10 minutes of watching people running around, filming each other badly before the thing starts up. I'm just so bored of it. And to the point that I don't think that any, in inverted commas, found footage, handheld video footage, it's like I've been yelled at by that genre for so many. I've seen so many of those films, and none of them have come up to the standard of Blair Witch, and I'm just bored. So, problem was obnoxious characters that I didn't like, slightly annoying retro thing that I didn't like. There are individually within it a couple of good stories, which had they been together as just like a 40-minute, television program or something, it would have got away with it. But I know other people have liked it much more than I did, and it may just be that I've just become so inured to the charm of the found footage movie that I can't see the wood for the trees. But I didn't like it. I found myself wanting it to be done.